Good afternoon, good evening everyone. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online. Yes, we're back for another match in this year's VP4 10 Ball Masters Championship, and it's going to be a third round match. We've got a few minutes before it starts. There's a wee bit of catching up to be done on the bracket, and if we look, I was talking on yesterday's stream about the match between Stub or Real Poland Power and Interchange X. Well, they finally arranged their match time, and as I thought, because they're both in the States, they've arranged it for 2 o'clock in the morning my time, so I won't be there for that one. And that is, when's that going to be played? Tomorrow, I believe. If we start from the top, we've got Mooncake's match, which I think is, what's that, the 13th? Well, that's tonight. I think that's set for tonight as well, at 11:15. Again, I won't get that one. And that's not Mooncake, Moz. Why did I say Mooncake? Moz, good evening. And that one will be at about 11:15. Now, is Duffman staying up late, Moz, to do the stream? If you want to watch that one, then you can go to Duffman's channel on Twitch, and that's Duffman2605, no spaces between the name and the number, and you can watch and listen to Moz and Duffman. Moz while he's playing in the match against Jose from Spain. Albinario got through the other day against Bill, very impressive, and well, that's fine. Anybody that wants to watch and listen, I'm sure you'll get a couple of people on, because that's peak time, state time anyway, more or less, or sort of tea time anyway. And then further down we have the match between Acero and Larry, which has been arranged for, I think that's a couple of days time. That's the 13th. I'm trying to read this damn thing. And then we keep going down. We've got the match tonight, or in about 5 minutes time, between SemiPro and Bedhead. SemiPro having beaten Popman in round 2, and having also beaten Keith from Northern Ireland in the first round, 14-11. Bedhead in the last round beat Mr. Fox 14-9, and in the first round he beat Cobra, of course, one of the strong favourites for the tournament, 14-12. I can't really read your chat now, guys, because it's on this white background. I'm trying to read it. I'll see it in a second. There's one other thing to mention as well. We go further. In fact, there's more than one other thing to mention. There's another 2 things to mention. Well, we mentioned the Stub match, so that's 2 AM my time. Mooncake's match with Sergresh has already been arranged. That's for a couple of days' time. Spectre Dawn is he's looking to arrange his match with Bankster. Again, they've got until the 21st of the month to do this, so there's plenty of time. Sky Bitter's waiting in round 3 for the winner of Sargo and Jover, and Hazard has got through, so he played his match with Party Marty, won very comfortably, 14-1. Now, one thing to mention, the match between Bill and Risk on the one loss side is due to start in an hour's time at 7 PM. Now, so needless to say, this match between SemiPro and Bedhead is going to overlap that match, so we may well pop out and pop in here to have a look and see how the scores go. And remember, that's a race to 10, and the match we are going to be watching is a race to 14. So we are expecting high quality. We've got 2 very good players in it, and Albinario is here to suss out the opposition. All of a sudden, Albinario has become favourite for the tournament after his performance yesterday. Very solid, Now, oh, you're talking about, I see you're talking about the webcams. Yeah, you'd want, no, the web, Moz was at the top right on the last match I watched, and Duffman was down in the bottom of the screen. But it wasn't encroaching on the table as far as I could see. Well, the good news is, as expected, Bedhead has arrived, and SemiPro is here. So we've got about a minute and a half. So let's have predictions here, because I reckon this could run very close. Well, there's that guy Jover arrived. Now he's meant to be playing that other fella Sargo, who I've never seen here. So that's a match I don't think will go ahead. I reckon that'll be a forfeit, that match. Now, who the hell's that with that name? I don't recognise that name. You're going to have to remind me who you are. Are they? Well, in that case, it will go ahead then if Sargo doesn't want to disappoint his friend. But as I say, I've never seen him. I've never saw the guy online. Where's that Jover fella from? Philippines. Good evening, welcome everybody. Well, we're all set to go. I think that's the room up. Yeah, let's head in. They're probably lagging off at the moment. Oh no, they're not. Bedhead's in. Just waiting on SemiPro arriving. So again, a reminder for anybody who is new or isn't 100% familiar with the rules of this tournament. It's a lag for break, and it's winner breaks thereafter. 10 ball is a called shot game. All combos and banks should be called. There are no jump queues, and I think that's about it, unless I've forgotten something. Well, I suppose it's really going to be down to who makes the least mistakes, because they do play at a high standard, so whoever makes the least mistakes is probably going to end up the winner. So we're all good to go. Again, haven't a clue who's who, but the one at the bottom of the screen is going to win it, and that is SemiPro. So here we go, folks. Race to 14, and remember, Bill's match with Risk is due to start on the hour in an hour's time. SemiPro breaking off, and immediately we've got our first dry break, and of course we've got a problem ahead. 6 and 8, but I think the 6 is fine into the middle as long as you get there. So nothing in theory has to be moved here as long as you get bottom side of the 6, and the 7 being up there. The 2, there is a path to the 2, so it's all about the draw on this, and that 10 ball is a hamper and a hindrance. So he's trying to get in the inside of it. That's quite good. Now he's going to have to avoid that 7 ball. Now if he draws to stun onto the rail, he's going to finish down the right hand side. Yeah, he couldn't avoid it. So the test, or the first test for Bedhead, this cut in the 3, and he should be on the 4, no problem, as long as he goes between that 9 and 10. He's got plenty of room. Well, he's missed it, but is that going to find a gap? No, he's got it safe, and he still had the cut in the 4 as well, so that's a sort of emergency backup shot that's worked out there. And remember what I said about that 6 ball. That 6 ball isn't safe, so, well, it's less safe now that SemiPro's opened it all up. So Bedhead with ball in hand should be out and should have the first rack on the board. Good evening, welcome to any latecomers. And again, I'm going to mention this again. When I went to YouTube, I noticed I had a comment on one of the videos, one of the matches, and it's another guy posting pod links. And if ever, and these guys have got channels, every one of them that has posted a pod link on as a comment, they don't have anything on their channel. So I'm wondering whether there's some kind of bot infiltrating YouTube. And I reported it again, so but it doesn't seem to be stopping. You keep reporting them. I mean, I could easily just delete it, and but I reported the what do you call it, the comment, because it's a bloody blatant pod link that's in it. So it all looks too easy, this one. Get the cue ball back to where it is right now would be ideal. Or there, that's still fine. Just a little kill shot in this cue ball. What happened to the Bed Fox match? Well, Bedhead won it. I think he won it. I think I mentioned 14-9, I think it was, in the last round. So Bedhead is off the mark, and that attempted cut on the 3 and bringing the cue ball all the way around for cover, it worked out. And immediately we have a 3-10 combo set up, because, well, if Bedhead goes all out for this 1 ball, he's going to collide with the 2 on this shot and probably push it towards the pocket if he plays it. Well, I don't know, he's called the middle pocket here. I'm sure he called the middle pocket there. Was that a mistake, or is he, what's he trying here? Is he trying a safety behind the 2? Yes, he is. And I don't think he's got there, has he? Maybe he has. Let's have a quick look. Yes, he has. And it's an easy kick, but nothing is really safe here for SemiPro. If Bedhead comes out of this with the 1 and the 2 ball, he can get down onto this bottom rail between the 3 and the 8 and play the combo. So it's all about how he gets onto the 2 to make it easy to come back. He's having a look at the 3-10, and this could go wrong very easily, this, if he doesn't get a good position on this 2 ball. Now if he can't get back to the 3, he can certainly, where's my donut, he can certainly get to about there and play a billiard anyway. So he's got a couple of options here depending on how he ends up on the 2. And that shot there, he can certainly draw across Now is he, I mean, he's got an angle on this too, so yeah, well where he's finished there, it's a billiard or a cut, so he has the choice. To me the billiard looks easier. He just needs to brush the 3 and no more, and he'll clip the 10 in. Now the commentators, I predicted this would happen if he didn't get really low, and he's missed it. I mean, that wasn't that difficult. And it's a chance, well, it's a life for SemiPro, because Bedhead should have been 2-0 up there. Now this should be a safety as well. It's all out for the cut, but it is not easy. He could have played the safety there, because when you make that decision, it's all or nothing. You're going to lose the rack. The billiard was on. Told you that 3 shots before he got to it. I would have got the billiard. I like playing billiards like that. Well, there wasn't an awful, I mean, granted there wasn't an awful lot of options for a safety, but you know, once you're committed to that cut and you don't get it, you know you're going to lose. So, well, this may well have to be a Bedhead cut here, because he's now out from the rail, and if he's going to be committed, he could go boom bang a bang, as they say, and go forward, but he's played the draw, which will bring him out into the middle of the table slightly. Well, he's played it pretty well to get it there. Good evening, Polo. So SemiPro's had one chance, and that was that 3 ball there. And Bedhead off to a 2-0 lead. A reminder for latecomers, we might drop out of this game and have a quick look at Bill and Risk. They're due to start in about 50 minutes time on the 1 loss side. Race to 10. Now what's SemiPro got here? Well, dry break from Bedhead. Check my little doodle's working, hang on a minute. What do you think? He's a no-show as well. Well, SemiPro has a chance now. Now 1 ball and 2 ball, not a problem. Roll along the rail for the long 3 into the top corner, but back across for the 4, and getting somewhere up the table on the left hand side for that 5, or drop round behind the 5. So thinking ahead, he's either going to be playing the 4 from here, get it red, to go up there, or he's going to play the 4 from there to go there, to play that 5. So he has to be thinking ahead for this 5 ball, because that's the one that's the problem. Now bottom and right hand side on this would kick the cue ball up the table, unless he wants to just roll through, punch the 9 out the way. Well, he's missed the 9, but he's got, I think, pretty straight on this, but he can play the draw. As long as he gets up near the middle pocket, he's got plenty of room to work with. You're better over, see, he's under hit it, you're better over hitting that. He stunned it rather than getting the draw, and he had another 2 foot to play with there to get on that 5. So this is another little tester. Well, this calls for a fairly gentle pot just to let the cue ball roll through. I mean, he can draw back, play the 7 into the right middle. Now with this shot, the only thing that you have to be really careful with is doing what he did the last time and playing a sort of stun, because he could end up close to that middle pocket, so he needs to get that little soft draw. There's where it can go wrong, and that's always odds on that happening. The cue ball heading towards the middle pocket, he's ended up with no shot, and Bedhead will be salivating if SemiPro can't get the hit here, and this is tough to pick the line to get this. I mean, if he goes, and especially queuing over that 9, now how's his luck? If it slows up, well, it's come out the rail. So Bedhead with this shot, what does he do? I mean, he could play this with right hand English to try and check the cue ball back down. He could play it with left, but either way, if he plays it plain ball, he's going to end up nowhere. He's got it, trying to get it as thin as he can, and I think that's going to work out very nice. Well, again, just a thin clip, but it's all about the pace. Doesn't want to overdo this. What you want to do is just get to that now left middle pocket, but I think he's trying to drop it in dead. Does he think he can just drop it in and stay there? Yes, he can. Now, I've said this in previous matches. Oh, that's a bad one. That's a bad mistake. I say the important thing is you know, SemiPro immediately there was looking at 3-0. He's got a chance to get it back to within 1. But I think Bedhead had some kind of English on that ball there. Maybe worried he was going to scratch or something, which is why he missed it so badly. Good evening, Jose. Make sure you stay awake for tonight, and good luck, because I'll be long gone in bed. So a good cut in the 10 there for SemiPro, and a good break. Unfortunately though, he's got no great shot in the 1, but he should be hiding in the long grass down here at the bottom of the table. Now he has to avoid hitting something before he gets down here, or he could leave this 1 on. And that will do very nicely. That is a good shot. And I'll tell you the other problem, the angle might be just to the left of that 8 ball to get to the 1, and he should be calling the pocket as well here, because he could chip this 1 along the rail. Yeah, it's ball in hand, so SemiPro, good opportunity to get back all square. Panic will be over if he does that. Not that there was a panic. Well, again, the mistake's been made, but he's partially got away with it. But Bedhead has no option but to call the 4. But that was a good chance for SemiPro. Oh well, the double kiss there has knocked to 3 safe. Now does he just go straight up and down and play the kick? Does he risk it? No, he's certainly not interested. So, welcome to everybody if you've just joined us. A quick reminder, we have another match scheduled on the one loss side, which may or may not go ahead if Risk turns up. But Risk is set to play Mr. Bill at 7 PM British Summer Time, 40 minutes time, so it'll be underway presumably before this match is well and truly over. So the kick and hope. Now this cue ball could scratch in this bottom left hand corner with the inside English. Well, he's hit it full. If he'd hit that half ball, he could have spun off and scratched. That's usually what happens, but it's a good chance now for SemiPro, and he's got to put this away. This angle, again, it's always the test of the pace. So down between the 10 and 9 and then up to the right is a shot, but up to that middle pocket, and he's overcooked it by a big margin there. He's going to end up hooked. Well, SemiPro is struggling straight away to find a pace here, and that is well in trouble. Far too much juice in that one. Anywhere over to the right of the 10 was fine. Well, it won't be 14-10, it's a one loss side, so it'll be 14-0, sorry, it'll be 10-0 if anything. So Bedhead, well, this looks simple enough. Get the cue ball out into the table, anywhere left or right. So Bedhead has his lead again with 2 racks, and again it was an unforced error, not getting shape and finding the only place in the table he could lock himself out in a 9 ball, and SemiPro will be kicking himself. And Bedhead has the 3 ball in the break, a very thin cut in the 1. Now he's got to try and hit this at a weight where he's still taking that 2 ball into the left middle. He can do that, but he has to go for it 100%. Well, he's went for it with a lot more power than I thought he would. I thought he would have just gently cut that and just let it drop in, but he's got away with it. And looking at these balls here, SemiPro knows that if he doesn't get a legal hit on this 1 ball and doesn't get it safe somehow, there could be a mini crisis on his hands in a minute or 2. Well, he's got the hit, and I think he's got the luck. Well, it's not a snooker, but it's certainly not a pot, but it's an easy safety. If he gets this with a wee bit of left, he's playing a bit of left, well, maybe a bit too much, but he can get it to the bottom rail or the top rail as we're looking at now. Just enough weight to get it to cut to the side rail and the bottom rail, and then cue ball up the table and get that distance at least. Now what does SemiPro do? Because he's got an enticement here to play the bank, and there's a chance it could kick in off the 10 ball, this 1 ball. There's a very strong chance that will happen. He's not calling it. He's looking to wait for a better opportunity, and well, at least he's got it safe again. But that was a good chance there, I thought, in that 1 ball. I mean, if you hit it to the, I mean, he would never play the bank so badly that he was never going to get to the side rail and near the pocket where it would kick in off the 10. I'm surprised he didn't risk it. Bedhead this time gets a kick, but no cover. And now what's SemiPro thinking? Is he thinking to get out into the table, play the 210, stop messing about? Well, he hasn't really got there for that shot. He'll still call it, but he would have much rather been over to the left, playing this straight. Another foot over to the left hand side would have been ideal, but on this type of shot you just have to pick that line and play the shot and forget about the 10 ball. As long as you get the line, there's a fair chance it's going to make it, and he has done. So back again to within 1, and with the break. Oh well, we've got a danger situation straight away, and SemiPro has got a ball, and it's going to be a quick rack here. 10 ball hanging. Now he needs to just be careful with this cue ball though, if he's going to play this with half decent pace. Yeah, he's played the draw to avoid a scratch, so very quickly with that combo it's now back all square. 3 racks all, and that rack is twisted. Look at it. Doesn't look so bad that way, but it certainly does from behind. Oh, 3 ball tracking in, and I think you can see enough of this 1. Oh, has risk arrived? Well, that's a good sign. Oh, the 1 wiped its feet, but it's gone in. But now, what's he got here? He's got half a pocket if he's going to play it long, and he's got less than half a pocket if he's going to try and drop that into the middle. But playing it in the middle, he'll be on the 4 ball. It's all about this pot, and it goes. Now can he find a way up to this 5 ball? Well, if he gets too much into this, he'll go near the 10. He needs to stun this firm. That will do. That's perfect. And he's got a nice little angle just to come over to the left, right. And if he gets good in the 6, he can just roll through, drop the 7 in. So from 3-1 down, SemiPro, well, he's gone dead straight in this 7 ball. This has just made it awkward. Yeah, he just decided to leave the cut, and again it's a tester. You don't like these, especially when you're trying to get good on that 9. The cue ball's going to go across to the left, but he needs to be careful it doesn't go low. Well, he's now either going to have to run up and down the table or play this with a bit of check to hold the cue ball for the 10. Done as best as he can, but this to go into the lead. So SemiPro, for the first time, takes the lead in the match. Two ball all the way around the angles and in, and it's going to have to be the 1-5. 3 ball, provided the 1 doesn't escape anywhere. And this well, this is going to have to be played gentle, because he doesn't want the 1 to come off the railing and end up dead, and that will do. Well, we know where the problem lies again, but if he can get out into the table, you want to be there on this 3 ball. If you're anywhere there, forget it. If you're there, you've got a simple chance of coming back to draw for that 4 ball, because the gap is there, plenty of room. And the 8 and 9 at the opposite end of the table, so they're adjacent to each other, so there's no problem at the top end. The problem's going to be coming back for the 10. Now, the obvious simple shot is to just roll through and roll the 7 into this left middle pocket. You're not doing anything fancy. A reminder as well, if you weren't here, we had a look at the bracket. Stubb has arranged his match with Interchange X, and did I say it was tonight? Or I forget what the date was. I think it might be tonight, US time. It's 2 AM in the morning, UK time. So, well, easy stun up to the right there, past the middle pocket. And again, he hasn't quite got there. He's there or thereabouts, but he could have done with a wee bit more. But this will see SemiPro take a 2-rack lead. But there's the mistake, and we know why it came about. He didn't get up and get good on that 10. And that's one that's got away. So we've had 3 or 4 mistakes here so far from SemiPro. Everything seemed to be settling down, but if you don't get as good as you want on that 10 ball, it's always a tester from that high cut. And that's one that's got away, and I'm sure Bedhead will be relieved. He was staring at a 2-rack deficit there a second ago. And Bedhead, I think, is dry. Nothing really inviting here for SemiPro. 2 ball up the top end of the table. I mean, he could go I can get a distance here. That's the main thing. If he gets cover, that's a bonus. Well, that'll do. Now, has he called the bank into this bottom corner? I think he has. Maybe even used the 4-ball here. Well, he's not. He's just fooling me again. He's playing the safety. Let's have a look at this. Well, again, there's a 1-2. A billiard from the 1 onto the 2. Nothing's been called so far though. There's also the thin cut in the 1 and come down this right hand side, but still nothing being called here. Well, he's making a choice now, so is he playing the cut or is he playing the billiard? It looks as if he's lining up the billiard here. Don't know where the 1's going to end up. He's trying to stay soft. Well, the 1 still goes. Playing it soft so the 1 wouldn't escape too far, and that's worked out not too bad. But not interested in the cut. Looking for a better opportunity. And of course the other issue is the 4-ball. And that 4-ball, you can't, I don't think you can make the potting angle there, because you're going to push that into the rail. I think that that needs to be disturbed, the 4 and the 6. Meanwhile, Bedhead's the one with the problem. I mean, I think he could. The worst possible thing about this shot is queuing right over the 10 ball. Now, if he uses his W key, he can jack the cue up to just catch the edge of that 1. The problem would be the double kisses on, and he would leave the cue ball up that end of the table. Well, that was the other thing I never mentioned. We've got a 1-minute shot clock and a 1-minute extension, so plenty of time. And see there, he's got the double kiss, and now this corner pocket's a big pocket. And in actual fact, the best thing that could happen here for SemiPro is to cut this 1, and actually, if he hits the 4, it may well do him a favour if he stays at the table, because it won't pot where it is there. That 6 ball's encroaching in the cut angle, but SemiPro had a better opportunity to get a tight safety, and he played it. So no sign of desperation there to make things happen. Why should he? He's back 4-all, and it was much easier to play a half decent safety. Hasn't got it nailed tight. If he had it nailed tight, it would reduce the angles even more, because I think Bedhead can spin this off the rail and get to the 1. Well, somehow he's managed to miss it, but we're still back with the same problem here for SemiPro. The problem's not the 1 and getting on the 3. The problem's in this 4-ball. I need convincing that can be cut, because even if you got here to cut that, well, now I'm in 2 minds. Well, he's took a liberty there in trying to free them up, but now he's left with no cut in the middle and having to pot the 3 long, and the cue ball's going to run over to the left because he can't get into the cue ball really. He's against the rail. But I don't think well, I think he played the safety there, to be honest with you. Which was the right thing to do. Now, Bedhead's trying to kick it, and it's easy to kick it, but he's not convinced he can get between the 7 to hit it that way. Well, I think he could have got between the 7, but he would have been only pushing it towards the pocket. Playing it that way, he's left nothing. Now, again, the other problem is if you leave anything on that 3 ball from the top end, the 4 ball will just get called. So now Bedhead is in charge. SemiPro again, the old kick and hope, and he hasn't called a pocket. He'd have been sick if that had went in. But this 4, I think he's dropping this in dead weight. Surely not trying to run into them. Well, he's not going to have any shot in the 5. None whatsoever, unless he digs a big draw into this and gets lucky. Provided he can pot it legally. Yeah, that was always going to be the problem. It was just in such an awkward place. And then of course he had to dig down to try and get up and have a shot on the 5. But look at the outcome though. Left SemiPro in deep trouble again. Fortunate to get the snooker, because that isn't obviously what he played for. But SemiPro's picking the line. He's got the hit, and well, it's not too bad considering where the 5 is. I mean, Bedhead can pot the 4, but he's only be able to see the top third of the cue ball, so there's little that he can do other than somehow trying to miss the 10, come over to the right and play a 5-8 combo. I think that's his best bet here. Well, he's jacking the cue up to as if he's trying to stun it. Well, he hasn't got there. Now again, it could be the cut or the billiard. Now if he plays the cut, he's simply going to run into the 8, and he's not going to be anywhere near the 6. So SemiPro still has a chance here, but he's in 2 minds of what to do, and he's thought better of it. Much easier again to play the safety. This is where these guys are weighing up the pros and cons of a shot. What's the advantage of potting that ball when you're going to run into the 8 and not get onto the 6? So he did the right thing, and this is what I'm talking about. This is why a lot of players in VP4 just don't. They keep playing one-dimensionally all the time. They don't use their head. And Bedhead there, much easier to play the safety than it is to risk anything stupid, and he's going to get the reward. He's at least getting a shot in the 5, I think, is he? Then maybe not. In fact, no, he can't. I thought he'd a shot there. Now, has he called the cross bank? This could be a double kiss again, because the pocket is open here. Yeah, well, it did everything but go in. Well, this time I think SemiPro can get through the gap and just let nature take its course here, because the cue ball is going to go out to the right. He's going to have no shot in the 6. That's a gap big enough for the cue ball to go through, I think. Well, he's looking to kick it, but I'm convinced that cue ball will go through there. He's picked a line, and he's at least got a sight in the 6 now. Well, this is ugly. It's ugly to even try and get it safe. Well, it's certainly not an easy cut. Well, that's what you need. You need a bit of running now and again, and if he's locks all at this stage of the match and it all runs out in the latter stages of the match, I'm sure it won't make any difference. I mean, if you get your fair share of luck, that's what you want. But if he gets all his luck now and then all the bad lucks later on in the match and he loses, it won't matter. Well, that's a missed call. And he'll probably be playing again. Yeah. Now, is Bedhead going to try a jump? He's a bit far away from the 9, but there's nothing to stop him trying to jump it. Nobody has tried to play a jump shot yet, because I think most folk are thinking that jump shots aren't allowed, and jump shots are. It's just the fact there isn't a jump cue. Nobody's prepared to take the risk and try a jump. No, it's not impossible. You talk to Yamaguchi Taro. He can jump in this game with a house cue. I've seen him do it in the tournament. Anyway, he's called the 7, but I don't know where he's called it. Probably this bottom left hand corner, and he's not far away. Yep, you can certainly jump, and I don't know how the hell Yamaguchi Taro was doing it, but he was jumping, and he was jumping them when they were close as well. I mean, I can't even jump with a jump cue, let alone without one. But Yama managed to work it out. What's happened here for SemiPro? Oh, I thought he'd hooked himself, but he's really dead straight in this 8, and this is going to be some work to get anything on this 9 ball. I mean, he's going to have to work with spin here, a lot of pace, but can he not scratch off this? If he's going forward, well, you see he's not even risking it, and he should have Bedhead nailed to the 10 ball here. Well, it's not nailed, but there's no sight on it for Bedhead, and he'll be calling the left hand corner pocket for the kick. And he'll settle for that, because that isn't a bank, not at that angle. You'd have to cut across that and avoid a double kiss if you were going to call the bank. Well, the simple shot's just to push it to the rail, but you're then probably you're probably leaving Bedhead no choice. But he's actually found a safety, and it's pretty good. Now, if Bedhead doesn't think he can get this safe, then it'll be all out for the cut. Across the table twice with the cue ball somewhere near the left middle pocket again for the shot in the 10. And that was always tough, but once again he's got away with it. And SemiPro can either thin it or he can go for the bank and kick it in. But even if he gets this 9 ball, it's still a difficult 10. So common sense has prevailed, He's decided to play the safety, but now we have a good bank on here, because anywhere near that middle diamond is a good judge for a bank. Well, that's not where it's going to bank. That's where it's going to bank. He's given it pocket weight, and well, that is unlucky. And I think it might be lucky again. Well, who said Bedhead was getting a lot of luck? Look at that. And I think SemiPro's the one that's stood in something today, because he's going to have to massey around a 10 and just chip the edge of the 9, and he's managed to get it. Needs to keep rolling. Well, this has been an interesting rack. Certainly the longest rack of the match so far. And we've been going, what, 50 minutes? And dear oh dear, SemiPro has missed another 10 ball. And he'll be getting annoyed. And that's chances he's thrown away there. And Bedhead had conceded the rack more or less there, and he's decided, right, I ain't messing about, I'm going for the bank. I wasn't going to get this chance, so now I've got a chance, I'm just going to go for it. And he's quite right. Unexpected, but he's way off the mark there. But now SemiPro's in the same boat. There's another good bank on, and he's got to call it, unless he fancies the thin cut. Well, he's all out for the thin cut. Well, his cut shots haven't really been working so far, and this is going to be a test. Well, he's picked it out this time. Cue ball's okay. And now he's in the lead. 5 racks to 4. A reminder again, folks. Risk and Mr. Bill, provided Risk is still here and Bill's there or shows up, they should be going ahead with their match in the one loss side, race to 10 in well, just on 10 minutes time. Easy cut my arse. What, that 10 ball? It's an easy cut if you're sitting watching somebody do it. But no, it was not easy. I mean, considering the cut shots that he's already missed. Well, the obvious thing with the bank and 10 ball is you only get one shot at it, but it would have been a good double bank in 9 ball, that 10 ball. Well, we've got Bedhead on the 3. And there we go, he's gone to his favourite spot for the high cut. And there's a problem. The problem is not so much getting on the 6 ball, but it's the same again, it's getting on this 7. Now that 7 will cut, but you're going to run straight into the 8, and there's no knowing where you're going to end up. And I think he may well have took the risk there in trying to move them, because he would have been really unlucky not to have been on the 5. So that's one attempt, and this is going to be his last opportunity once he gets onto this 6 ball. Now let me have a look, see what it looks like from his end. I think the best he can do here is catch the edge of that 7. It depends on the pace that he plays this at. Yeah, the best he could do was catch the edge. I don't think he's caught the edge of it, but an easy safety. Oh, what's he left here? Don't tell me that's a 7-10 combo. Well, I think where the cue ball is, it certainly isn't. So, what's SemiPro looking for here? Well, this is... First of all, he has to get the pace, and it's worked out. Well, that was unlucky, and it was lucky. So, unlucky for Bedhead that he's played the safety and left the possible combo. I thought where the cue ball was, that was going to save his hide there. But it hasn't, and more importantly, SemiPro has a bit of daylight now, and he's broke, and the 9 ball is gone. He's got an easy safety, or he's got a thin cut with the cue ball coming down the table for this too. Well, I'm not convinced what he played there. I'm sure he played the pot, because he's ended up down here for the 2. It could have been a 2-in-1 shot where he was just trying to hide the 1 ball and get distance. So Bedhead looking for the kick off the rail to chip the 1 in. Hasn't got there. And now the pressure is on Bedhead. SemiPro has was trailing 3-1, and a bit of a shaky start, and a couple of misses on the 10 balls have cost him racks, but he's now got that lead. How does that look? Well, it's going to be the bank again. Is that I presume that's wink at me. Oh, it is at me wink. Right, I've got that. I worked that one out. Good evening. Welcome everybody. How many have we got on YouTube and how many have we got on Twitch? Because there's bound to be people there who aren't saying anything. Oh, I meant to look at Twitch to see if there was a way of unrestricting people to chat, because I wasn't aware of it. But who was that said the other night there that there's like a 30-minute timeout when you first join as a first timer as to whether you can chat or not? I didn't know that. I'm going to look at what do you call it, at Twitch. I've never really looked at Twitch to check all the settings, but if I can remember, I'll do it at some point and see if I can lift that sort of restriction. I presume I can. I'm not even aware there was one. So SemiPro, if he can avoid the 7, I don't know whether he can though. Do you think so? I'm going to have a good look at obviously it'll be something to do with the chat settings or within the settings. I'm going to see if there's anything on it that I can do. As far as I know, the chat's all open, but well, here's another one to test SemiPro, but with a 6-4 lead, he doesn't want to be encouraging Bedhead to come back into it by helping him. And this time in goes the 10. And the lead is now 3 with the break, of course. And now Bedhead is in need of some sort of assistance from SemiPro. And the thing is, though, the interesting thing is, maybe SemiPro's made all his mistakes. He's got them over and done with, got himself into a lead, and now he doesn't need to take risks. SemiPro's going to have to kick his way out of this one. And I'm pretty certain that with me mentioning on these streams that nobody had taken a risk of playing a jump shot, I think I have witnesses in this chat who will confirm that SemiPro volunteered to play a jump shot against Bedhead. I'm sure he said it, and I'm sure he said it more than once. That remains to be seen. Good evening. Was you not here as DJ Simon earlier on, Simon? Now you're Simon Varley. Did you manage to change your profile name, or did you in somebody else's profile, or have you got 12 profiles? Anyway, Bedhead's got the chance. Not a great chance though. Who has tried a jump? I've not seen it. Nobody's tried a jump in this tournament yet, in none of the matches I've watched. Ah, because that's on, because you're on YouTube, that's right. I don't think you can do that on Twitch. Well, again, I'm not even sure if you can. Yeah, I'm sure Semi said he would try a jump shot if it came to pass that he had that, was in that position. Well, Bedhead's got a great opportunity here. This is perfect for trying a jump shot. What do you mean I've missed like 5 jump attempts? Are you trying to mess with my head, Albie? Here's a good opportunity here for a jump. Yama would be over that, hit the 3 and got it safe 5 minutes ago. Yep, their match should be underway. It's should be into the first rack. Well, he's missed a kick. So ball in hand now for SemiPro. And a great opportunity. But now the fact that the balls are split. The awkward ball is now in play. I think it was a 7. Mark isn't here because he has. If he has said hello, I missed it. I don't think, if you're talking about Steve-O, he's not here. I don't even know whether he's in the game. So it's worrying times now for Bedhead. No, Bill's the one that's the expert with the jump cue, and he hasn't risked a jump shot in any of his matches either. Yep, it is worrying times for Bedhead, trailing 7-4, and with SemiPro getting on the 7. It's not looking good. Well, no major risks here. Just pot the 8, roll through, cut the 9, and with the angle, the cue ball's going to come out into the table for a fairly straight in 10 ball. It was what, 14-3 was it? I think that was the score. It's none of your business what I'm doing. That's why I haven't got the webcam on. So SemiPro now has a comfortable lead, 8 racks to 4. And is SemiPro going to be in a charitable mood here? Is he going to give anything away now? Because that's how Bedhead's going to get back into this. No, it's not. No, no, no. All legal. Tax paid, everything. So SemiPro has the 2 and the 4 in the break. No shot in the 1. Now where does he find a safety here? He can just push it along the rail past the middle pocket, as long as he doesn't push it to the knuckle, and he'll be reasonably safe. Was hoping to actually get that cue ball behind the 5. No, there's no menthol cigarettes anymore. They were banned a couple of months ago. And that is pretty good. That is a good shot. He's not getting to the 1 ball from there, and that 9 ball's in the way. Now if you go past the 9 ball, the judgment with this shot is playing this with left English, because if you play down there, you have to play it with a wee bit of left to straighten the cue ball, or it's just going to come straight up the table. I don't think he can find a line without playing a little bit of left, which he is doing, and he's played it well, and that's unlucky. Very difficult to judge, but it needed a little feather of left English to hold the cue ball and keep its line to get to that 1 ball. But Bedhead has a chance. Now the 1 ball, of course, is only going to go into the top pocket. He's given himself the angle. No, I'm on. You're right enough, by the way. You're right there, Ross. It's Players Green Filter Super Kings. Well, that's ended up ugly, because if he had got clean, he would have been on the 3 no problem. And so now Bedhead's getting the bad luck. Shouldn't have hit that 5 ball, though, it has to be said. With ball in hand, he could have had a better angle on the 1, so he could avoid it altogether, but he's kicked to 1 in, or whatever ball it was. I've totally forgotten what 1 it was there. What 1 was it? Was it the 2 or the 3? Doesn't matter. But can he get himself out here? This is vital. This is crucial. This is one of these crucial racks. If you're Bedhead, got to take it out. That's going to hang, is it? No, it's clean. And now this one, well, he can baby it in dead weight and he'll still have the cut in the 7. Just dead weight and no more, and the cue ball won't escape too far. Well, he's decided he's not risking it, but he's going to have to leave this squarish somewhere along this line, unless he's going to try and move something. And if he goes too far, he'll struggle for the potting angle, but I think he's okay. Yeah, he's having to bend it to make it. Yeah, it looks as if it might be going to the jaw if he just tries to cut it. So he's now having to just put a wee bit of side on it. Well, quite a lot of side on it, looking at what he's doing there, and he's got it. But of course, That sacrificed good position. So all the pressure on this 9 ball, where did he call it? Into the corner. I missed where he called it there. He hasn't called it yet. Ah, that's why I haven't seen it. Well, it looks as if he's choosing the top left. Good shot, good pace. Well, he was desperate to win this rack. Now, of course, having won the rack, he needs a ball and a shot to get something going. 3 ball, no, what went into that other, something went into the top left, but he's not getting a great deal of joy on positioning the 1. Now, when you look at it from here, the 1 goes, and has he still got it? I think that pots, he can get the potting angle. Oh, this will be bad for Bedhead, because the 2's hanging over the middle pocket, the 3's wide open. Everything is on here. And SemiPro, well, he's looking good to be out in this one. I'll have a quick drink. The only one that's a slight problem, and I say very slight, is just how he finishes on this 7 ball. Because that 10 ball can always be a hindrance. Ideally, he's obviously want to finish over on this right hand side, but before he gets there, he's going to have to deal with the 4. This is not easy, especially where the 6 is as well. Good shot, another tough one. Now I think there's plenty of room to avoid running into the 10. Gap between the 10 and the 9 will do very nicely, but look at where the 7 is. It's so easy to overhit this and get the top side of the 7. Oh, this is another tester. So Friday night 9 ball due to start in 50 minutes time as well. Bills match underway, and SemiPro looking to get to a 4 rack lead again. And this, of course, hurts even more because that's off Bedhead's break. It's not Iron Brew spelt that way. It's IRN Brew, just to be specific. There's no O in Iron Brew. Made in Scotland from girders. That used to be the ad in the telly. Well, I don't think I've had any Iron Brew for about 10 years. Well, this is just a little delicate shot, but he doesn't want to under-hit this. It's so easy just to drop the 2 in and drop down, but if he doesn't go far enough, he's going to leave himself really awkward in this 3 ball. He wants to get as square to the 3 as he can, so he needs to be right down in the right hand side. He's finished. Has he overdone it? Yeah, slightly. But he had to be down that low, because considering where the 4 ball is, if he had ended up here having to play a cut, he'd have been way up the table and all over the place. So he's just trying to draw back a wee bit. Pinched a bit of the pocket, played it well. And this is a second vital rack for Bedhead. It's no miss. 10 ball he has to be playing now. Whenever he gets a chance, every single one of them has to be taken out if he's going to come back in this match. And plenty of room. I think, yeah, little stunny draw. As long as he gets enough in it, he'll find a gap between the 8 and 9. And a little bit of help and spin, making sure he gets there. And of course, same old. It's the problem of getting from the 7 to get good on that 8 ball. Good evening, Tam. You're late to the party. Well, let's just say Iron Brew is an acquired taste. It's a bit like Marmite, you either love it or hate it. Well, this is the old Bedhead shot again. Hasn't got into the cue ball. But if he gets this, and on the 9, he should be home and dry in this rack. All clinches on this 8 ball. Well, it's the draw off this 9. Not too much, but just enough to come back and leave that decent angle in the 10 ball. So, Mr. Bill's match, what's the latest score? Anybody know the score? He was, what, 1-0 up, did you say? Against Risk. I think it might be a bloodbath. First to 10 in that one lost side match. First to 14 in this one. And Bedhead back to within 3, breaking off. And no joy again. Oh, 3-1. Now SemiPro. Well, a very tight cut into that middle. Easy safety on though. Well, he's going all out for it. And that again was a bit of a risk, because all it's doing is, I mean, you've got the chance to put Bedhead in trouble, and taking risk like that is going all out. At this stage, you're only 9-6 up, and you've still got 5 racks to get. It was not an easy shot, and now he's given Bedhead a chance, and that's what you don't want to be doing. Much easier safety than a much more difficult cut. But it's up to Bedhead to take that advantage. Can he punish SemiPro? Well, the shouldn't be any problem getting on the 3, although he's left himself a thin one into the middle. But the 4, he can get over behind on the right hand side. That would be the safest place and probably the only place he's going to get to pot it. So he has to leave that angle off this 3 ball. But having said that, the thin cut and the angle on the 2 has undone him, and that's a bad miss. And he had enough angle to spin off that right rail, off the end rail, and come out for the 4, but we'll never know now. But it was a very good chance for Bedhead there, but SemiPro's going to have to play the same shot. Well, he's got that all wrong, but it's worked out though. Didn't want to run into the 4 and certainly didn't plan it, but he's now got a straight in 4, easy 5, 6 into the left middle, and if he goes far enough out for the 6, he can drop through for the 7. Now he needs to get right out into the table, and that will do. That looks a pretty good angle from here, just to drop through. Let's have a quick shifty. That's fine. And again, the shot he wants to leave in the 7 is just a sort of, well, I think he's left himself the wrong side, believe it or not. Yep, this is where things go wrong. He hasn't gone far enough. That cue ball should have been there. See, you're brushing into the 10 and things can just go out of shape, and he's still got the cut. It just makes it that wee bit more of a test. Well, he should be okay now. And he's got away with that rack there, SemiPro. Bedhead had his chance and blew it, and he's now in double figures, leading 10 racks to 6. SemiPro having that really tight cut into the middle there. Bedhead didn't manage to make the punishment there for SemiPro. Missing that cut into 2 in the middle was a big mistake, and he paid for it big time as well. Meanwhile, SemiPro has had the 3 ball in the break, misses the 1, and now here's exactly the same opportunity now for Bedhead. Now these balls are sitting great. So the gap is there to get on this 4 from the 2. Oh goodness me, the stun and the dig and the push to the jaws, and the ball's going to rattle. And well, the signs are not good now for Bedhead, because the errors are there. The last rack, this rack, and is SemiPro going to deliver? I think he is. It's just going to creep past, and he's perfect. Bit of inside left, just check it off the end rail. Big window to get on the 4 ball. Now if he chickens out in that shot, he can go this way and just leave him coming this way, but the simplest shot's a bit of inside just to come down. Maybe wanted a wee bit more off the rail. How's that look? Well, this is the one that can possibly go wrong, because if he's digging to play the draw, that 6 and 10 could get in the way. But the pace is good, the line is pretty good, and if he's going to keep it simple, he just rolls through and plays the 6 long. and this'll really make it hurt for Bedhead, missing that one ball. Well, it's all too simple, this rack. Just drop through, or you can just finish there, slightly further to the left, drop the 9 in, 10 into the same pocket as the 8 ball. No heroics. And SemiPro looking very good now to march on the winner's side. $11 racks to 6. Well, it's dry, but it's safe. But again, these balls are not that bad. If you look at where the 3 is, the 3 is more than likely going in there, and you can drop through for the 4. So the run out is on here. Whoever gets that first chance. 5-1. In fact, that match could be. I mean, what are we at now? Well, Semi's needing another 3 racks, but that match could be over. Yeah, I think Bill's on a laptop, and Bill. I presume he maybe needs to tweak it a bit more, but he doesn't seem to be in full control. And I think in the last tournament he told me he was on a laptop or something, because I was thinking he just didn't seem to have the touch, or as good a touch. But then again, you never really got to see Bill do an awful lot in the match against Albie. He never really got a sniff. So this is the one for Bedhead, getting on the 3. Has to get right over, and that will do, because the gap's there. It'll leave an angle. And then of course the other problem is the cue ball's travelling again from that 5 down to the 6, so this isn't a gimme, but it is a good chance, and he can't afford to make a mistake. Yeah, he probably wasn't at work this morning though. Or he wasn't on the laptop. Was he saying he wasn't on the laptop when he was playing his match against Albie? Is that what you were meaning, Larry? Well, there's where it goes wrong. And well, Bedhead's certainly got an angle to get in the 6. That's not a problem, because you just run it there, and there, and you're on the 6. Somewhere along that sort of line. It's all about the pot. He's going wide, and he's going to be safe. Oh, you were playing, yeah, got it. This, I think, needs to be a little punch, or is he playing it long? Yeah, he's deciding to play it long. Now, he's going to be near the middle pocket. He's not going to scratch, but this depends how much juice he puts into it as to how far this cue ball's going to go. He's putting a wee bit of right on it to bring the cue ball out, but he probably doesn't need an awful lot. If he gets, well, he's trying to. I honestly don't know why he put an awful lot of right on there, because that's obviously making the pot more difficult. And I think Bedhead's seeing things that weren't there. To me, he'd have been safer just rolling it in. He would have went to the rail. It would have been a highish cut in the 8, but he was trying to do something that wasn't really necessary there, and it's going to cost him big time. Oh dear, well, SemiPro has choked here. He's dragged the cue ball, but it's the mouse that's getting the blame. But it's a lifeline for Bedhead, and if that was my mouse that was doing that, it'd be straight in the bin. No excuses. Mind you, I've got about another 10 mice I can choose from, but that's by the by. Now, is he going to get far enough? Oh, this is another Bedhead shot every time. How many times does he do it? Is he going to run out of shots again? This time, in it goes. And it's a lifeline. Big time for Bedhead, because SemiPro, well, insinuating that he's got issues with his mouse, but I just don't think he went through with the shot, and that's why it just lagged up. Of course, the other thing with this game is that people don't think about, depends what your mouse settings are. If you're on that, what do you call it? What do you call the damn thing? Hang on a minute. If you're on, see, I've got mine on velocity average, which is VP3's basic one. But if you go there, look at my sensitivity settings, 1414. But if you have it on this bloody, what do you call the thing? Accelerated best fit. See if you don't go through with the shot. I think you make mistakes more doing that. But it depends on the mouse you've got. But he certainly kind of choked up in the shot. And I blame the person using the mouse rather than the mouse, because modern mice don't do that. Let's be honest, guys. I mean, he's not sitting there with a 399 mouse. I mean, it'll be a high DPI laser mouse he's got. But anyway, it's back to 4. But SemiPro with a wide open table to get to 12. That's one thing I've found, and I don't know whether you guys have tested it enough, but when you have it on that accelerated best fit, if you don't keep your, and it tells you in the information, you know, poorer strokes are more likely to have bad results on the outcome. If you don't keep the acceleration going on your mouse action, the shot might not turn out as good, which is why I don't use it. So I put it on to the VP4. In fact, I'll tell you what else I did last week. I have now got it off Pivot English and went back to the old VP3 style. I don't use Pivot English anymore. Well, SemiPro calling the bank, gets it sweet, sitting nicely on the 8, getting himself out of problems there. And well, as long as he gets into this and comes back 6 inches, that's much better, because that's exactly what you want to be doing. You want to go through with the shot, and that little bit, just tiny bit below the equator, if you get the stun and the power right, the cue ball will come back soft like that. So it's now 12-7 to SemiPro, and well, Bedhead isn't going to get back into this one. This is too tall an order to get out of jail here. And SemiPro, the 1 and the 9 have tracked in. and he just can't push through the 2 because he's too close to the 8 ball, or he would have nailed him there. 7-1, I don't think it's worth going in. I think if we play our cards right here, if Bedhead wins a couple, that other match will be finished before this. Well, this just needed a wee bit more pace, and he would have been well in behind the 7. But Bedhead now might be at the point of no return, where he's going to have to go for this and then end up playing a combo in the 7. It's all out. Best form of defence is attack, they say, and he's backed into a corner and has ran out of racks. But again, that stunning draw goes to the jaw, and it ain't going in. So it's SemiPro. Gilt edge opportunity to get to within 1. Now he's going to have to just either stun or use a little bit of spin in the right hand side just to help that cue ball over to get straight as he can on this 4. Well, I would have went straighter than that. I should still get this, no problem. Yeah, held it well, pace was good, 4 stays very adjacent. I ain't counting. Well, SemiPro had a dodgy start, a couple of misses and 10 balls, but other than that, he's been fairly clinical when he's been getting chances now as the matches went on. So SemiPro on the hill. And he can have a nice long break, assuming he goes on to win the match, because he'll have a while to wait to get his next one. That rack was well tilted to the left. Dry break, but safety net for SemiPro. 7 and 10 locked up, so no sweat here. Is that who SemiPro set to? That can't be the case, because Interchange X and Stubb are still playing a first round match, are they not? Or are you talking about the one-loss side? Well, you only need to look at the rack to see that it's actually not sitting square. Snakes has been muted for 5 minutes, you know why. None of us know why. No, the racks aren't the same, no. No, watch this. Well, I don't think there might not be another rack, but when you look at it from where we're looking at it, just look at the line of balls at the bottom of the rack and see whether they look as if they're lying straight or not. When you look at that against the head ball, you can see that it's tilting to the left slightly. He's probably on the drink. Yes, it does, yeah. It's most noticeable in a in a 15 rack or a 10 rack. It's a lot easier to see it that way. It does do it in 9 ball as well. So here's the breakout shot to stay alive in the match. Well, honestly do not know what Bedhead has tried there. There's no way he couldn't get a breakout on that 7 ball. I mean, I wish I thought he'd a perfectly good angle to get to that, but well, I think he's looking to actually pot this. Does it go? Well, it does go, but this is it, make or break. It's all over if he doesn't get it. Well, he's tried to be cute, and he's not got enough time nor racks to be cute, and he's left a shot. And I've hit the wrong button again. Yes, I hit the wrong button again, guys. But I think we are home and dry here for SemiPro. But why he didn't get the breakout in the 7, I don't know. I should have went behind that to have a look at the bloody thing. So SemiPro completing the formalities, and it's in the end it's turned out to be a comfortable win considering the start, and we'll jump straight in to see what's left of the Bill Risk match, and we'll have a look at the bracket as well once that match is finished. So SemiPro marches on, and that one loss side is looking dangerous because there's a lot of heavy hitters moving over to the one loss side to join Cobra. So you've got Bill there at the moment, you've got Bedhead over there at the moment, you've got Stub there in a few hours time. Well, there's a wind up. Stub will be joining them in a few hours time. Let's get into this room. Right, so at the moment it's Risk on 2, Bill on 7, race to 10, and we'll get, as I say, we'll get fully up to date on the bracket once these guys are done here. And Bill should be out here. Well, commentator's curse has done it again. The old draggy stun shot sends the 5 rattling in the jaws, and this is difficult to get this cue ball in a position here. Well, that'll do. Now is Risk going to get his 3rd rack? Can do a little draw, or could just run through slightly. I don't know whether the angle's good enough for that. Maybe not. But if he draws, he can play the 7 either in the middle or the same pocket. Well, see, that's not the shot. That's the shot of someone who wasn't sure what to do there, and that was not where you put the cue ball. Well, he's called the 10, but this is a shot of desperation, and he should never have been there. Who's Conbra? Well, nice little angle for a stunt. Well, just a roll through, 6.5 a dozen, as long as you get on it. But Bill comfortably to 8-2, and that shot that Risk had there, that's just simple shots you have to learn. To see that rack's tilted slightly as well. So Bill's break gives him the 7 ball. Called the 1. Or did he call the 1? I don't think he needed to. He was playing it into the middle, was he? I'm actually getting a bit distracted. The concentration's a bit going because I'm actually quite hungry and it's getting late. I had a Spanish omelette when I got home from work today. It was quite good. Serrano and chorizo. Now, why SemiPro sending me a PM? He knows fine well I ain't going to answer a PM while I'm streaming. He knows that. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll shut it right down, then he'll work it out. I don't open PMs while I'm streaming, guys, so don't send me a PM. And Friday night 9 ball is what, 15 minutes away. Yeah, I normally get one on a Friday, but I had one on Tuesday this week. What did I have? I think I just went, what did I have? I had I went for the simple one. I had a chicken curry and chicken curry with fried rice, and as my little appetizer had chicken and cheese rolls, which if they don't do chicken and cheese rolls down south, it's just like they're like small slim pancake rolls and no other clues for guessing what the contents are. It's chicken and cheese and they're bloody lovely. You get half a dozen. Well, Bill's finding ways to get in trouble, and Risk is going to have an awkward shot here. No, he's okay. I thought he was going to be hunted by the 10, but he's got a shot, and if he just pots this plain ball and lets the cue ball run, he should be on the 9. Well, I think when you're 8-2 down, you have a go at that 8 ball. You've nothing to lose, only another rack. The match is pretty much gone, and Bill doing the right thing. He doesn't need to take any risks at all. Well, this time Bill won't hang about. That's not going to get there, is it? Oh, well, gave it every chance to go in with the pace. Well, if I've ate cat or dog, it was bloody delicious. So I'll back the North Koreans. If I've had Chihuahua at any time, it was bloody delicious. Or Yorkshire Terrier. I would imagine they would be a bit more leaner than a big bull mastiff in curry sauce. Well, 1 ball in the break. Bill on the hill, and a shot in the 2. Well, he's going to need the big old heave-haw draw with the amp on to try and get the cue ball back. little bit of inside to come down the left. Good shot, not snooker, but perfectly safe. Is that going to get to the rail? No, it's the... Oh, it is. Well, Popman should have watched that. Popman needs to watch this stream and see that shot, because that's how you get to a ball dead weight pace and push it to a rail without fouling. So risk, taking a risk, calling the bank, bottom right. And that might be his last shot. Well, Bill, I think can draw. I can draw off it, no problem. Get on the 6. So off the end rail and out for the 7, but he wants to get on the top side of the 8 to make it simple. I think he's gone too straight though. No, he can see he's just not got there, so he's running away now, unless he wants to just roll through. But he's going to have to go up and down to get the 10 though. Or is he? Has he managed to stun it? Is he going to take the risk and a little brush into the 10? Yeah, he's still there. So this for the match. So Bill is through to the next round on the 1 loss side against Risk by 10 racks to 2. And we're going to have a final look at the bracket. Everything should update in a second or two, and we'll go from top to bottom and get the damn thing to work. Well, we've got the match between Moz and Jose later on tonight. That's in a few hours time, just over 3 hours, at 11:15 British Summer Time. That'll be on Duffman's channel on Twitch, Duffman2605, all the one word, no spaces. If you want to watch and listen to the guys on there. And of course the winner of that match between Jose and Moz will play Albinario. And then we've got Acero and Larry set to play on Sunday, and I'll be there for that. That's in the middle of the afternoon. And if you can't stay up to watch that match tonight, then just go to Duffman's channel tomorrow, Duffman2605, write that down or make a note of it somewhere, and you can watch the rerun. It'll be on Twitch. And then, as I said, the Larry match is on Sunday at 3 PM with Acero. Remember, Acero's in Japan, so that's like 11 o'clock at night his time roughly. And Larry will be playing at breakfast time, his time, around about 9 AM, something like that. We've got SemiPro, who's obviously through, against Bedhead, and they've got until the end of the month now, roughly, to arrange their matches, so plenty of time. You can have a break. And further down, LS3 waiting on the winner of Interchange X and Stub, who play at 2 AM my time, and that is in well, what is it, 8 o'clock, nearly 4. That's in about 7 hours time. I'll be long gone for that one. And then Mooncake is set to play Sergeresh, and that is on Sunday as well. What time is that? Sunday night at 7 p.m. and I'll have that match as well then on Sunday night. Spectre Dawn against Bankster, no time set in that yet. Sky Bitter, who is through to play either the winner of Sargo or Jover, and Hazard is already through, having beaten Party Marty 14-1. And then in that one loss side, the match we've just seen the end of, Bill and Risk. So Bill is through, and he's got until the 21st of September, so he's going to have a good little break until his next match, I would think. And I think that is about it. Oh no, wait a minute, the Cobra match with Shaft Tracks, that is Sunday as well. So we've got 3 matches on Sunday. We've got Larry's match at 3 o'clock on the winner's side. We've got Cobra's match with Shaft Tracks at 5 p.m, and then we've got that other one that I mentioned, whatever one it was again, at 7 p.m. So I think that, oh no, well, there's another one. We'll get the Monster match, which is 3 p.m. tomorrow. So I'll have that match tomorrow afternoon between VP Monster and Snake Eyes on the one loss side. Right, so remember guys, if you don't get to see any of the matches, if you can't join the stream, just go to my YouTube channel and you'll be able to watch whatever ones you've missed. If you don't hear the scores and you want to watch them, they will be on there. And so I've got the match tomorrow, and we've got another triple header on Sunday. And now with that folks, it's that time of night. I'm going to bid you good night, and thanks a lot for your company guys, and I hope you can join us at some point over the weekend, because there's 2 or 3 good matches on. If you can stay up to watch the Stub Interchange X match, you can let me know how that went, and I will see you again soon. So take care, stay safe, keep your distance, and good night.